In my experience, many people stretch for way too short a time, while some do it longer than I find necessary. Stay consistent to achieve the best results with the least amount of time invested. I'll walk you through it using a simple graphic so you can understand it more easily. We have here, on this particular axis, time. And over here, we can observe the resulting outcome of the strain measurement process. And now we're going to go ahead and divide it up. 30 seconds. A full minute, 1.5 minutes. 2 entire minutes, and then anything beyond 2 minutes. In my experience, and we have been working on these theories for over 35 years. Very little happens during the first half minute. During the initial first 30 seconds, not much movement occurs. This particular observation is consistent with scientific research concerning fascia tissue. They mention that this specific type of fascial connections requires roughly 30 seconds, or about half a minute, to start to give way at all. And then the yielding effect sets in, but first I'll establish an upper limit here. This is the stretch we can achieve at most, and then during the second half minute, the following happens, slowly. More and more stretching takes place, which means it increases significantly. For over a minute, it keeps going up, and afterward, it starts to level off again. That implies during the first 30 seconds, there is not a great deal going on. Up to a minute, there is significantly more happening than before. We find ourselves precisely at this position at present. This implies that we have the results spanning from the first full minute up to halfway, with more results during this point in time. And then it continues to rise, but the curve becomes flatter. This means that up to 2 minutes, a lot still happens relatively quickly, but then with increasing time, less and less happens. That indicates that in less than 30 seconds, barely anything significant happens at all. Beyond 2 minutes, things do continue to develop a bit, but certainly not nearly as much as they did earlier on. That means there are methods extending to 3, 4, or 5 minutes. You can do this, and you'll still achieve a slightly higher result. However, the time you spend is then, for example, twice as long, yet you only get 10% more enhancement in stretch effect. And that's the reason why we strongly recommend doing stretching exercises with a duration of 2 to 2.5 minutes at the very most, But it is of most importance to carry this out at least once a day, 6 days a week. Preferably not less. We've come to understand that, for the majority of patients, this approach yields the best and most enduring results, especially given that the time investment required is quite minimal. If you find this information useful and enjoyable, it would be great if you could like us and also subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any videos.